What's up, dorks? Hopefully, I didn't clickbait you too hard with the title. Today, we are going to be reacting to this Eventhubs article, which I have over here, which has a very questionable title. And it reads, despite being very strong, Poison is one of the most fun Street Fighter V characters to fight against. And if you've ever played Street Fighter V, especially against Poison, you would agree that this is completely objectively false, even though it is an opinion. You know, maybe he has some interesting, well thought out reasons. So we're going to be going through, reacting, probably criticizing a lot of what he's saying. Off the bat, we have, I don't know how they made this banner. This looks like a 5th grader made this banner. Like, I don't know about this font. It just looks like something a 5th grader made for like his PowerPoint or something. Like, it doesn't look good. But moving on, I have expressed an absolute ton of disdain for Street Fighter V's lopsided balance of risk and reward, as its top characters tend to have a disproportionate surplus of the latter. I would say including Poison, but apparently he's going to disagree with that. Even lower tier characters often have certain attacks or sequences that grant unearned benefits. And though it's not enough to get them consistent wins, it still squashes the senses of fun and competitive significance when fighting against them. In more recent times, however, I found that one of Street Fighter V's newer characters doesn't really fit this pessimism mold and still exists as a relatively rewarding and enticing character to play as. She's also one of, if not the most fun characters to face off with, and I think I've isolated the reason why. I would really love to hear the reason he comes up with. It's true of virtually all fighting games, but especially in Street Fighter V's commitment-based atmosphere, do we as players feel and respond to the balance of risk versus reward. When that's off, like when a Hail Mary crush counter or a flailing V-trigger sequence happens to drain the last third of your life bar, it's especially pronounced, and feelings of robbery and dissatisfaction can very rapidly set in. Alright, first off, risk versus reward for Poison. A third of your life bar? Poison's V-trigger frequently does like 40 or 50% of your life after you get hit by a stand fierce. So that already debunks this part, I think. I've been playing against Dream King's Poison quite a bit in recent times, and he wrote up a full article detailing his experiences as a Poison user and highlighting why she's especially fun to use. I mean, I'm sure she's fun to use because she's broken. We'll see why she's fun to play against. She has the proper tools to help lead competitors to major tournament victories, but also doesn't come equipped with much in the way of overly powerful tactics that end up being overbearing and abused too far often. I mean, yeah, she does look fun, and I agree with the what. She is kind of a cool character. I will give you that. She is a cool character, but overly powerful tactics that end up being overbearing and abused far too often. First off, her entire zoning toolkit is abused the entire match. Like, how is that not abused far too often? It's literally her whole game plan. If the Poison player is not trying to zone you out, they're not playing the character, right? Then EX Heart Rate. Every Poison player online spams EX Heart Rate when they get the meter because it's a free guess for them. If that's not overbearing, I don't know what is. Poison is strong to be sure, but you have to use her abilities with tact. I would say this for any character. I suppose this is emerging as something of a sister article to Dream King's, written more from the point of view of Poison's opposition. My joy in fighting against him has come from the sense that it truly is my decisions versus his that most affect the outcome of our matches. I mean, this is just something that is logically true. Like, if it's not your decisions that are affecting the outcome of the matches, then I don't know what's happening. Unless like a computer is playing for you. I don't know how your decisions versus his is not what's happening in the match. As a mid-range zoning character, Poison should have a considerable amount of control of the space in front of her, and she surely does. She does. She's also equipped with a great anti-air and crouching medium punch. Alright, crouching medium punch, I didn't talk about this, is actually broken. Like, reaches way behind her head. No other anti-air does that, I think, that well. I think hers is the best one. Like you actually can't cross her up in the corner because it goes all the way behind her head. So getting in on her takes plenty of thought and strategy, unless of course you're Bison. I don't know why they put this. I don't know why he put this in here. Like, I don't think I feel like Poison versus Bison would be good for Poison. I don't think Bison gets in any easier than any other character. I feel like he would also have trouble. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about. Because Crouch Medium Punch would beat EX Devil's Reverse, which maybe that's what he's talking about. But Crouch Medium Punch just beats it. Yeah, you think he was being held at gunpoint while writing this by a Poison player? It'd take a long while to try to go through all the possible interactions you might have while dealing with Poison, but there's a very nice example in one of her main attacks that echoes her overall feel. Heart Raid. Not the EX version, just regular Heart Raid. Heart Raid is a stance maneuver Poison performs that she can hold before lashing out either horizontally or at an upward angle. This move is powerful and used often, but it breaks down into a commitment with an appropriately balanced risk and reward. So I think the writer of this article just does not understand that this move doesn't really have that much risk. There's literally no commitment. She can cancel it. Like, that's like the least commitment based thing you can have. So like, you literally do it and then you can cancel it. So I don't understand how that's commitment. Poison must choose at the start whether her heart rate is aimed high or low. I mean, that's true. Though the opponent won't know which version is stocked when she enters her stance. Also true. If you try to jump when she's got anti-air heart rate loaded up, you're going to lose just about every time. I mean, I would hope so if it's an anti-air one. They just release it. Similarly, if you try to dash him when she's got the horizontal version ready, you're going to eat whip. Also true. Go for the correct choice, however, and you're more than likely going to be rewarded because of how committed he used the word committed again. She becomes covering one space or the other once she enters the stance. Alright, so the problem with this is she's not committed at all. If she does like stand fierce into upwards whip, or any whip, and she cancels it, she's only -2. So if you jump reading that she did the horizontal whip and she cancels it, you actually just get punished with a crouch medium punch or something. She's not committed. So the guy that wrote this is Velociraptor. He used to be a top player in Street Fighter 4 and also in the beginning of Street Fighter 5. But I think he just has a very mistaken point of view on Poison. If Poison misses with heart rate, she's either giving her foe a jump in or allowing them to take a bunch of space and get to a range where she doesn't want them to be. They don't get a full jump in, and they actually don't get to take any space if she cancels it. Making these calls have felt very satisfying, as it's truly felt like it has been Dream King's mind games against my own, as opposed to having our decisions be overshadowed or muted by attacks and maneuvers that are simultaneously strong and safe. Getting through Poison's defensive feels wonderful, but being stopped by her doesn't feel like an injustice. I mean, I think the problem here is probably that Dream King does not abuse heart rate in the right way. He probably doesn't cancel it as much as other Poison players do, so it just seems like a mix-up. But it's not a mix-up. Like, the Poison player is clearly at an advantage, because she can just cancel it whenever she wants. She can hold the anti-air one, you jump, or she can hold the regular one, you jump, she cancels it, and she has time to anti-air you. So the fact that he's saying things like committed, that's just completely wrong, I would say. He has not talked about EX heart rate. He has not talked about EX heart rate. He's only been talking about regular heart rate, which, I mean, it is true that if Poison didn't have other tools, like her V-trigger, like her EX heart rate, like the only zoning part of her isn't that annoying to play against, and I can see how that would be rewarding, but she has so many broken things that he's like ignoring here that make her not fun to play against. Can't all decisions in Street Fighter V be analyzed and predicted? Yeah, EX overhead as well. I agree, Hippolord. I often play against Catalyst Monat and can't say how many times I've been flustered by the zoning combination of her standing and crouching heavy punches. For characters who have to make their way in an honest manner against her, you'd think there'd be a balance between... Alright. I mean, this is... I feel like it doesn't make any sense at all because Manat, there is a risk because she is committed to her standing heavy punch. When she presses it, she can't cancel it. But poison, she can cancel it. There should be a real cost to whiffing Manat's hurtboxless, crush counter triggering, and far-reaching heavy punch. The cost is you can jump in on it. Perhaps that she's left more open for a jump in? She is. This would imply she must thoroughly pick and choose her spots. This is true, but its recovery is so that you cannot jump it effectively on reaction. This is also true, but you also can't jump Poison's whip on reaction either. And even if you jump it on reaction, she can cancel it and anti-air you. You can't jump Ryu's fireball on reaction. I mean that's also true. There's so many things you can't do on reaction against zoning based characters, and now he's talking about Poison like you somehow can do those things, but you can't do that. So I think he's contradicting himself. Poison is strong and might even be capable of a bit. Do you guys see how much damage her combos do? A bit? They do a lot too much damage. But her attacks feel like commitments paired with appropriate risk. Stand heavy punch has like, you can whiff punish it, but the risk reward on standing heavy punch is not very high. The reward is like 500 damage if she has super. Why did this man write a 20-page report on why poison is fine? Maybe he was held at gunpoint by a poison player. She doesn't hide behind overly powerful or relatively riskless tactics. So he's ignoring EX heart rate. He's ignoring, I guess, her zoning. There is some risk, but it's less risky than Monat for sure, or fireballs. And thus allows players' thoughtful intentions, for better or worse, to manifest more directly on the screen. Both players can appreciate this from both angles of the fight. And the central reason we play versus instead of against the AI is to test our real-time problem-solving abilities against one another through the medium of the game. These are a lot of big words. I feel like I have sufficient autonomy when playing against her, as I can strategize against her powerful moves and try to exploit their weaknesses. Dream King is very right when he says she should be the gold standard for the game's future characters. I disagree. If you make characters like Poison, the game would not be very fun. If you've ever seen a Poison mirror match, that does not look fun at all. They just spam whip full screen because none of them wants to take the risk of jumping because they both know that is not in their favor and that spamming the whip is actually the ideal way to play. That one's really long, so we're not going to read it. So many things I can't agree to. This is a big no-no for me. I agree. Asrog just said nope and got upvoted. We're going to ignore that guy. Lol, no. For you, maybe. This is the second article you guys made to justify Poison's brokenness. Just like the first article and all the Karen articles, this is a joke. I kind of feel the same. Poison has so many things for her. I don't get such articles. Yeah, no way. Alright. I'm kind of scared of clicking that one. Am I playing the wrong game? Because last time I fought a Poison, I was most certainly not having fun. Yeah, against a bad or mid Poison, maybe a high-level player can eviscerate most matchups with little to no effort. Fudo ran over people in the first Topanga with a barely 1 month Poison. Pugera did the same. I don't know who that is. He ran over half the Asian Pro Tour with a weak to poison. No, no, and no. I mean, I think this is the issue here. He's not playing like the most high level poison there is, and there's probably holes in the way that he's playing. If he abused everything that poison has, then Velociraptor would probably feel a different way. But just by pigeonholing yourself and playing one person that plays the character, I assume that's where the issue lies. I mean, I completely disagree. Poison is not a fun character to fight against. She has so many broken tools. The fact that her stand heavy punch goes into 50% damage is by far the biggest. Like, she should not be doing that much damage as a zoner, I think. Her EX overhead being that fast and only -4, it should at least be like -6 so you can get a medium. And EX heart rate is just, I mean, is broken. It's a free guess for her. She doesn't have to do anything. She just does a block string into EX heart rate. That's it. All right, so let's just make a poll, and we can confirm. Is poison fun to play against? All right, we got 1 vote for yes, 2 votes for no, 4 votes for no. 3 people are saying yes, actually. 5 people no, though. 6 people no. Is Velociraptor in here or something? 9 votes for no. It's 9-3 right now. 10-3. This is not looking like poison is the most fun to play against, as Velociraptor was saying. John called in the goons. You summoned him by posting his tweet in the chat. I am saying yes, but I am poison mainer. Have you played the mirror match? You think the mirror match is fun? Yapolard? Alright, I think that's the end of the poll. I don't think the yes is gonna catch up. It's 13-4. Is poison fun to play against? No. Stream chat has decided. Thank you for watching the video. If you're watching here on YouTube, please like and comment if you think poison is fun to play against, and I will see you guys next time. Also subscribe to the channel. All right, we gotta look at the tweet. I say one nice thing about Street Fighter 5 and get blown up. I misstepped with the packaging of this article, but I stand by my main point. We'll be hashing out particulars on the podcast this week for anyone still interested. I mean, it's just not true. If you say something that's not true, you're gonna get blown up.